Bonjour, nous y sommes. Here we are, we three queens. I'm Afia.
I'm Micheline.
And I'm Musonda.
And today we have the most amazing guest with us, Annie. And Annie, we're so happy to have you with us on the show today. And we will be talking some really deep, intricate conversations about women's rights. So stay tuned. Annie, welcome to the show. Please tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Queens. It feels really incredible being in the Queensdom. I am Annie Modi from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I am a born feminist, a women's rights defender and protector, by the way. And I've been into this, it feels like my entire life, because since my childhood, I've never really fitted in any patriarchal system that has decided on how girls and women should behave, should look like, what should they eat and not eat. So I've never really fitted that setup. So it's made me be seen like a stubborn. You know, they said she was stubborn.
Yes.
Some said she would never have children. She's too loud. She's too wild. Everything else than just saying I was me. So this is my story, but I've always felt that I was a human being, that I had things that I wanted to do differently, that as my brothers, there were nothing really that I could not do by the simple fact that I was a girl.
So let me pause there. So this is interesting. This is interesting, Annie, because number one, it's an African setting, and you grew up in La RDC, which is why we spoke in French. So from the DRC, already, you know, it's an African setting, and then you mentioned brothers.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Maybe tell us a little bit more. What was it that made you feel you could not accept some of those kind of stereotypes that exist within our African setting?
Simple things.
Yeah.
We all went to school. I usually brought back my grade were higher than my brothers. Though they were in 1 or 2 class ahead of me, I would be like 90%, 90%, and then they have 65, 67. So I felt like, no ways. If I can use my brain, I can use any other part of my body, and no one should tell me how to do it. That's first thing. And secondly, it's a pity that my father died quite early, but he also didn't make that difference when he was supporting us through our school work. So he even most of the time used me as an example. I think she's a girl, she climbs the tree like you, but she's bringing back good marks from school. But then when you had some social event in the family, aunties now comes in and will start dictating. Girls go in the kitchen, but no ways. We usually discuss with my father, and like, no, you can't look at men in the eyes. And now this is when I started feeling the difference, and I just could not submit to that, and even not think of conforming to it.
Well, power to you. That is awesome.
At what age do you think you struggled the most with your being really avant-garde, feminist, really against the world, which is still, unfortunately, a patriarchy?
I struggled the most from my 13 years of age, and I think that just opened up a new journey for me, because my father, who saw all these things differently for his girl, passed away. And now I had no one to try and make them understand that there is nothing that can makes her as a girl to not explore the world differently. And once he passed away, now I had to live in the extended family. It was trouble because already, I did not see myself like a girl. I was a human being.
Yeah.
So it was very challenging. Then I found myself in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, right when the war was starting, the genocide in Rwanda, the refugee coming. And then I went through an identity crisis because I looked differently. Okay, so there's nothing painful than being rejected by your own people on the basis of your outside appearance, on the basis of how you look. So this was the moment that I struggled the most. I knew who I was, but nobody accepted me the way I was. So it was now a shock between them and me. So, but then I had my baby. I was 17 years old. I was a teen mother. From there on, I decided that my child was not going to live in a world that is dictated by a patriarchal system. So from then on, I knew I was not going to fight for myself. I was going to create a different world where girls can be human beings, can just be themselves and decide later on how they want people to refer to them.
You did something that was so incredible and created an organization called Afia Mama.
Yes.
What was that journey?
So Afia Mama means women's health. And this is actually, to me, a whole philosophy, religion, if you want. Because I personally and deeply believe that a woman in good health is not just physical health, mental health, financial health, you know, who has built her own agency, woman who has control over resources, a woman who knows who she is, what she wants for herself. This woman can move mountains. So this is where this came from. And it was inspired by my own personal journey. Because if you can just quickly do the math at 17, I don't have my matrix yet. So I did not have any degree. But as a human being, I started earning at 14. By just, you know, like with my hands, I started earning. I was still 14 years of age, and ever since, I have never been dependent financially, per se. So then I realized that you don't need a degree, you don't need a husband, the way the world wants us. Yeah, a husband is good, a partner, I mean, a partner is something good, but it's not a goal that you want to reach to define yourself by the simple fact of living with somebody. In fact, we are sharing life with somebody. We don't belong to them. But this is not what society makes us see. And I said, no, if I could change me, if I can change people's attitude toward me, if I could force them to accept me as I am, it means that creating a space where other girls who have gone through difficult journey like mine, other girls who are going through identity crisis within themselves, and also that conflict between what they are and what this patriarchal society want to dictate them to be. If I create this space, I think I would have done justice. So I decided to call the organization Afia Mama, so I can then, with women, go through the journey of just creating the space where they can feel healthy at all points, and then decide to build their own queendom.
That's awesome.
So empowering.
How do you find the women? Do the women find you? Do you advertise so that they know that there's a safe space where they can come and learn and grow? How does that process work?
Do you know that women, social media came after, but the real social media have always been here, and women were running it, and they just never made marketing. Because, it's women talking to each other, first thing, because I did not want to commercialize, would be too strong for what I want to say. I didn't want to make it like the reason for getting to grant. It's a space for supporting people to find who they are, and also to to support them, to create an enabling environment for their growth. So the organization just reached 10 years now.
Wow.
Thank you. In October, it's actually 10 years of work. We are throughout Democratic Republic of Congo, 26 provinces, and working through the 5 regions of Africa with networking with sisters. But I've never really made even a documentary to know it's people who have benefited from the work we do, who have discovered what the impact of our work has done, who was actually spreading the news about the organization. And women find us, or they are referred by other women to come to us.
Yeah. You know, a shout out also to the dads, the men, you know, the boys out there who have seen the light.
Yes.
You know, who are equal partners in society and who have that attitude that it's not like we belong to you, you know, we're also here equally partnering in this beautiful, you know, world, you know, with you. And shout out to you. I mean, I think a lot of times, you know, life can be delicate and really, you know, full of troubles for many. And this idea that you can get through it, and I know our region, I say our region because the Great Lakes region is fraught with all these issues, right? So you're there. All of a sudden your people are othering you, distancing, you know, you from them. You have, you know, some tragedies, and you take all of that into your story. And not only for your benefit, but pour it into the soul of this organization for the good of others. You know, there's so much.
Thank you.
There's so much people.
And we need to do like a field visit to see Afia Mama offices.
You'll be welcome.
Maybe some last thoughts from you, because I can see that you've got so much going on.
Actually,
as well.
I wish we could just have you for a whole evening and just have a conversation.
Shall we plan that?
Yes,
Yeah, we
I
can
think
plan
let's
that.
Definitely do that.
I would fly back just for that.
Oh, that's
Let's plan for that.
Pour les autres aussi, hein, les Congolaises, les autres de la région un peu francophone. Bon, si vous êtes ici à Nairobi ou si on visite vos pays, on peut avoir la même conversation.
Exactement.
Chez vous. We can have this really important conversation because I think it touches, you know, on people not only on the continent but beyond.
Behind the continent. And there's something very crucial that I would thank you for allowing me to tell my story by myself, because I think this is what the Queens are doing. You have created the space for the women to tell their own story. So it's not about what people said about us, but it's about what we say about ourselves. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
I think that is so well put,
so
Annie.
welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, it's wonderful. And I think for me, maybe just in closing, you really represent a hero.
Thank you.
This is what a hero looks like. You go out there and you make a difference for so many people, just taking your learnings and your pain and transferring it or converting it into something that's so positive and impactful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your
Thank
story.
you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank
your
you.
stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for
Merci.
everybody joining us today, thank you for watching. Please do
Subscribe.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.